Welcome to this channel. Mau belajar bahasa Indonesia atau bahasa Inggris dengan cara yang seru, santai, dan mudah dipahami? You're in the right place. Belajar kosakata dan ekspresi sehari-hari. Learn daily vocabulary and expressions. Dengarkan contoh situasi nyata. Listen to real-life examples. Subscribe sekarang dan nyalakan notifikasi. Let's learn together and have fun.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Really great to have you listening in today. You know, our whole aim here is to take your source material, maybe it's a dense paper, maybe a bunch of articles, maybe just notes you've jotted down, and really get into it. Pull out those key insights, quickly, thoroughly, so you walk away feeling like, okay, I get it now.
Yeah, those aha moments.
Exactly. And today we're doing something a little different. We've got just one source, a really short article actually, but don't let that fool you. It's a fantastic way into understanding a specific English idiom. And the really interesting part, it uses an Indonesian context to explain it.
Which is brilliant, yeah.
Yeah.
It highlights that cross-cultural connection, language learning in action.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to get your head around English expressions, or maybe you're sharpening your Indonesian skills, this one's definitely for you.
It's about connection, not just words.
Spot on. Okay, let's unpack this. The phrase, a bad lot. So first things first, a bad lot. Sounds kind of simple, right?
It does on the surface.
But what does it actually mean? And I mean, there are tons of idioms in English.
Yeah.
Why this one? What makes it interesting for our deep dive today?
Good place to start. The source is great because it's super direct. It defines a bad lot as, and this is quoting the Indonesian part first, seseorang atau sekelompok orang yang dianggap buruk tidak dapat dipercaya atau memiliki karakter yang jelek.
Okay.
Which for, English learners primarily translates really clearly to someone or group of people considered bad, untrustworthy, or having a poor character. Pretty straightforward definition there.
Untrustworthy, poor character.
But then it goes a bit deeper. It adds other ways to think about it, like orang yang tidak baik, so just a not good person.
Right.
Or orang bermasalah, someone who's problematic. And even orang yang bobrok, kelakuannya, which is quite strong. It means someone with corrupt or rotten behavior.
Wow. Okay, so it's not a mild term then.
Definitely not. It really paints a picture and not a flattering one.
Yeah, you can see that. And it makes you think, doesn't it? About how much meaning gets packed into these short phrases. It's more than just the literal words. For you listening, understanding, this isn't just about vocab.
No, not at all.
It's about getting how people make these, quite strong social judgments, right? It's like a shortcut to expressing a whole assessment of someone's character.
Exactly. It's a window into perception, a deeper cultural layer.
And speaking of culture, this brings us to what makes this source article really unique, I think.
The English-Indonesian bridge.
Yeah. It's not just defining an English idiom in isolation. It's deliberately making it accessible for people learning either language,
right,
by showing that direct link.
And what's so effective about that is how it demonstrates it. It doesn't just define.
Right.
It gives you a practical example right there, side by side, both languages. That's gold for language learners.
It really is.
Because you're not just asking, what does it mean? You're seeing, how is it used? Even seeing an English idiom dropped right into an Indonesian sentence, it just clicks faster.
Okay, so let's look at that example. The source gives the Indonesian sentence. Meskipun Andi punya penampilan rapi, banyak orang bilang dia a bad lot.
And right below it, the English. Although Andy looks neat, many people say he is a bad lot.
So clear, neat appearance, but still a bad lot. But the key is why, isn't it? And the source explains that.
It does. It doesn't leave you hanging. It dives into Andy's actions. It says, dia sering terlibat masalah di sekolah.
Okay, so he gets into trouble at school often.
Right. Dan mempengaruhi teman-temannya ke arah negatif.
And influences his friends negatively. That seems crucial.
It really is. It's not just about him, but his impact. So, despite looking tidy, he's causing problems, being a bad influence. That grounds the idiom right away.
Makes sense.
And then there's another layer, the source adds, ibunya sudah mencoba menasihatinya, tapi dia tetap saja menjadi bad lot.
So his mom tried to advise him, but he just kept being a bad lot.
Exactly. It shows it's not a one-off thing, it's a pattern. He disregards guidance.
So the whole picture, the trouble, the bad influence, ignoring advice, that's why he gets the label.
Precisely. And presenting it that way, linking the phrase directly to those concrete negative actions, it's just a perfect illustration for learners. It makes the meaning stick. It's practical application, not just theory.
Yeah, that's where it clicks, doesn't it? For you, listening, that dual language thing isn't just neat, it's that aha moment. It takes this abstract idea, an idiom, and boom, it's real, it's memorable. You see the phrase, you see the context mirrored, you see the behaviors behind it.
It bridges that gap between just knowing words and actually understanding how people use language to talk about, well, human nature.
Yeah, absolutely, whether you're focused on the English side or the Indonesian context. Okay, so we've got the definition nailed down. We've seen it in action with Andy. Now let's step back a bit. The bigger picture.
The so what?
Yeah, the so what. When do people actually use this phrase? Why pick a bad lot specifically? What's the social vibe around it?
Well, connecting that back to the source, it explicitly says, ini sering digunakan dalam konteks social.
So in social contexts,
Yeah,
everyday talk.
exactly. It's not formal jargon. It's how people might talk about someone, maybe within a community or a group of friends. It's a colloquial judgment.
Okay. And what about the feeling behind it? What's it conveying?
The source points to kekaswawan, which is disappointment,
Disappointment.
and pinalayan, judgment. It mentions the Giftin for Up character song, which looks like maybe a slight transcription issue in the source text itself. But given the context of disappointment and judgment, it almost certainly means a judgment of character.
Right, that makes sense. So you use it when you're let down by someone's ongoing behavior or making a strong negative assessment of who they fundamentally are.
Yes. It signals deep disapproval. There's often an implication that maybe they're inherently flawed or unlikely to change.
That's heavy.
It is. Calling someone a bad lot isn't just saying they messed up. It's closer to saying something's fundamentally wrong with their makeup, their character.
That's a really important distinction. It's about a pattern, isn't it? A perceived core trait, not just one action.
Exactly.
And English idioms often have these interesting histories. Does the source touch on where a bad lot might come from? Or maybe how it compares to similar phrases?
Our specific source doesn't go deep into the etymology, no. But thinking about it, the word lot historically could mean a share, a portion, or a group of items, like goods for sale.
Okay, like a lot at an auction.
Precisely. So if you had a batch of goods, a bad lot would be the substandard ones, the poor quality items.
I see. So applying that to people.
It suggests they're somehow inherently subpar, of poor moral quality. It carries that sense of intrinsic nature or, well, lack of quality.
That makes a lot of sense. And comparing it, you mentioned other phrases earlier.
Yeah, English has others like a bad egg or a rotten apple. They're in the same ballpark.
Right.
A bad egg also implies someone untrustworthy, maybe deceitful. A rotten apple, famously, suggests someone whose bad influence might spoil the whole group.
Like the G, one rotten apple spoils the barrel.
Exactly that. A bad lot, though, often feels a bit broader. It can cover general poor character, maybe not just one specific flaw like deceitfulness. And crucially, you can refer to a group as a bad lot, whereas bad egg is usually just one person.
Ah, that's a good point. You wouldn't really say they're a bad egg, but they're a bad lot. Works for a group.
Right. And while maybe it sounds a little, perhaps slightly old-fashioned compared to newer slang, it still packs a punch. It has this weight, this strong judgment behind it, probably because of that long history of use.
A weighty judgment, not just a casual diss.
Okay.
So pulling this all together for you, our listener, understanding a bad lot clearly isn't just about learning a new phrase. It's much more about getting a handle on how these deep-seated judgments about character get expressed in English. And what's really fascinating here, seeing how similar judgments are conveyed across different languages, specifically between English and Indonesian in this case.
It really unlocks a deeper level of communication, doesn't it?
It does. It helps you navigate social situations better. Maybe you avoid misunderstandings. You start to pick up on those subtle cues more accurately.
You recognize when someone's being seriously criticized, judged negatively, maybe even warned against.
And you understand the why behind it, usually tied to those consistent negative behaviors we talked about with the Andy example. So we've really taken a deep dive today into a bad lot. Started with the definition untrustworthy, poor character.
Yep.
Explored it through that fantastic dual language example of Andy, showing how behavior leads to the label.
That practical application, yeah.
And then looked at the social context, expressing disappointment, a strong judgment of character, even touched on its historical feel and how it sits alongside similar idioms.
And I think, especially for you listeners who are learning languages, bridging English and Indonesian perhaps, this whole exercise shows how idioms aren't just quirky extras.
No, they're vital.
They're like little windows, right? Windows into the soul of a language. They show you cultural values, social judgments, all the nuances. It's insight that goes way beyond just translating words.
Absolutely. Gives you a real feel for how people think and express themselves in that language. Which brings us to a final thought for you to maybe chew on. How many other phrases that seem simple on the surface might actually be packed with all this hidden meaning? Cultural context, maybe historical echoes, all just waiting there.
That's a great question.
How do these phrases shape how we see things and maybe how other people see us? Something to keep in mind. Keep that curiosity going. Thank you so much for joining us on the deep dive today. I hope you feel a bit more informed and maybe spark some curiosity about the stories hidden in language.
Hope so too.
We'll catch you next time.
Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully useful. Don't forget to like and subscribe.